I am here in Dubai on the ground. This is not a virtual background. This is the background of my luxury villa I'll be selling soon. No, I'm just joking, but I am here. And it's amazing being here. I won't lie to you. One of the reasons that I'm so excited for the property circle is because, for the past 5 years that I've been visiting this place, I wanted a way that I could bet on the future of Dubai. Does that make any sense to anybody here? Right? It's like I love everything about this place. And, it's not the fact that it's super warm right now and it's rainy in London. Sorry, Kate. And it's not the fact that, everything's luxury and everything's bling, although, that's not a bad thing for me. And it's not so many things. What I love here is the mindset. It's the idea that anything is possible, that if you can dream it, you can make it happen. This is a city full of hustlers, right? People work here, and I love that people work. Whether it's the Uber driver or the Deliveroo guy or the guy building our luxury transformations or, the dude from London who just rolls in, everybody's working 24/7 and it has an energy of doers and go-getters. It's something when I got back to London in November, I noticed something I never see in Dubai. You know what it was, Jens? Somebody was walking slowly down the sidewalk. And I was like, what the hell is this? I've never seen this, but what is this? And I never saw that happen in Dubai because no one can afford to walk slow here. And His Royal Highness has a saying here that when you wake up in the morning in Dubai, whether you're a lion or a gazelle, you run. And I love that. Everybody's running here all the time. And it just has this can-do environment. Everybody comes here because it's a better place. And I think Mark alluded to it earlier. I believe Dubai is anti-fragile. I don't know if you've read that book by, I think it's Nassim Taleb, where he talks about the concept of anti-fragile. Anti-fragile doesn't mean tough. It means that when you shock something, it gets stronger. And when you shock the world, Dubai gets stronger. During COVID, this place thrived because it was one of the few places you could go and actually have a relatively sane existence. All right. When Russia invaded Ukraine, what happened? Everybody moved to Dubai, Russians, Ukrainians, other people, because it was an alternative. When October 7th happened in Israel, people moved here. And when the taxes just got raised in the UK, more people moved here. And this place is going to continue to expand. As long as there's something going wrong in the world, people come here to escape where they're at. And I'm massively bullish on this place. I'm now spending close to 6 months of a year here. And again, you don't exactly have to twist my arm. My kids were just here. They love it. My daughter, who's 22 years old, going to school in Boston, it was her first time here. And just like you, she had all these preconceptions about this place. Oh, I better cover up because I can't offend anybody when I come here. And I'm like, yeah, wait till you get here. You'll see a lot of uncovered up people here. Trust me. And she was blown away. She loved it. She loved everything about it, from the vibe to the atmosphere to the airport to the friendliness. And she just wants to come back. My kids love it here. And it's just an incredible place. And I always thought to myself, how can I bet on Dubai? And I remember myself saying, maybe I should buy a basket of stocks, from the Dubai Exchange. And I was like, no, that's stupid. And I could never really think. And then one day I woke up and as I was looking up at all the buildings, from the Burj Khalifa to where I stay here at the Address Beach Resort, to the big Ferris wheel eye next to me at Blue Waters, to the beautiful palm, to Jebel Ali, the new palm that I get to see when I go skydiving. I can see it up there. It's one of the last things I see before it's the last thing I think I'm ever going to see. And I was like, oh, it's the property, stupid. Just like Bill Clinton famously said when he was looking for re-election, he said, it's the economy, stupid. That's what people care about. And I looked around and was like, oh, it's the property, stupid. That's how you can bet on the future of this place. But I didn't want to be a house flipper, right? I don't want to unclog toilets on the weekends. I don't want to buy something that hasn't even been built yet, that I don't even know if it's ever going to be built yet. I don't know. I don't have the bandwidth or the patience for that. So I was always looking for a way where we could bring people in to invest in an idea, and that a place is going to be much bigger and more desired in the future. And how could we benefit from that? And quite frankly, I found it. So look, I'd love to talk to you about this tonight. This is going to be a pretty short presentation. I've been on the ground here now for 10 days. I've already seen two incredible deals on top of the deal we're closing right now inside the property circle. Things are moving fast. I plan on doing a deal a month for the next 3 months, and then probably 2 deals a month for the rest of the year. and who knows, maybe it'll just get bigger from there. I've been surprised at how much interest there's been from London Realers. At one hand, I wasn't surprised, but the other I was. We've been doing crypto the last 4 years, and I love crypto, and I'm very bullish on crypto. But I see this as a great diversified asset in your portfolio. Crypto, real estate, stocks, bonds, cash, maybe some gold. That's a good diversified portfolio. And this is a piece of that. And I want to show you how we can invest in what I think is one of the better ends of the market. And as Mark alluded to earlier, something we can get quick turnaround times. I don't want to wait 5 years. I don't know about you. I'm a little impatient. I don't want to wait 3 years. I want to wait 12 months, maybe 18 months. And luckily, the specific sector we're investing in has those types of returns. So last chance to turn cameras on. If not, Mark, please toss these people out. This isn't like your normal work Zoom call where you can kind of call in on a Friday when you're in your PJs. You don't have to wear a tie, although it's appreciated. And great to see everybody. Let me jump into what I'm seeing on the ground here. Please send me any questions here inside the chat, and I'll answer them all at the end. But I'd love to hear from all of you. I'd love to get your questions and just tell you what I'm seeing. So let's jump into this. And again, this is literally what we're seeing here on the ground. So hands up if you can see this extremely happy looking guy here on the screen here. Okay, great. You can see it. And look, I want to talk about how Dubai's luxury property is turning smart investors into huge winners. I'm going to share with you some headlines and some recent deals that have gone down here that'll probably just blow you away. What we're looking to do is make you 40 to 90% returns, which at first look don't even sound real. All right. And I'm going to explain to you how we are going to make those a reality and how we can do this for what I think is a short window of time. I don't know if we're going to be able to get these returns in 5 years, but I know with our media company and our presence and me being on the ground and our reputation here, I can get you access to these deals now. I think we're going to be able to do this for a few years. And that's exactly what we plan on doing. Before we get started, I just want to say this presentation is for information purposes only, not intended to be investment advice. If you're looking for that, please go find a professional. Also, I want to give you this free video, which is how to invest in luxury Dubai real estate in 3 easy steps. I'll give you a link to this free video at the end. So just stay with us for about 30, 40 minutes, and I'll give you that link. Who am I? Well, look, a lot of you know me as Brian Rose of London Real, but most people don't realize I spent 15 years on Wall Street inside the world of real capital flows. I started at a company called Bankers Trust in New York City in 1993. I went on to the First National Bank of Chicago to actually run a derivatives trading desk. Then I moved to London to work on the hottest product at the time, which was called credit derivatives. And I did that for about 10 years, and we made a lot of money. And of course, right when you're making the most money you've ever made in your career, what do? You quit your job and you become a YouTuber. And that's what I did. And thank God I did, because it was driving me crazy, that job at that point. And for the last 15 years, I think all of you know what we've done. We've really put a dent on the universe. We've really, I think, corrected some wrongs with some rights and got into a lot of trouble and had a lot of fun along the way. But we've also got to sit down with some of the smartest minds on the planet. I've actually got to sit down with some of the greatest real estate minds on the planet and just continue doing that, which we're really excited about. Of course, I spent 5 years coming to Dubai originally for crypto. And I did that and started really studying this up close. And a lot of crypto bros are wealthy bros. And so I've actually seen more luxury villas than you can shake a stick at, because that's where they live. A lot of them live on the Palm here, and they don't live in the single lots. They live in the double, triple, quadruple lots. And I've seen a lot of luxury villas. And of course, I've been very impressed. And I've seen a lot of demand. Of course, we've had 1 billion views of our content. We've got 5 million followers from around the world. Folks, I've got to meet some of the greatest people in real estate and capital markets over the last few years. A lot of you know Grant Cardone. Who knows Grant here? Raise your hands. I'm a big fan of Grant. I've had Grant on the show. I've had his wife, Elaine, on the show. He was actually just here about 3 weeks ago. I interviewed him when I was in London. Grant now has 5 billion under management when it comes to property. When I met him, he wasn't even at 1 billion. And again, just being around him and listening to him has really helped me a lot and show me how you really just have to go big and you have to pull the trigger. That's what you have to do. If you wait on the sidelines, the world will pass you by. And Grant's definitely not doing that. I've also got to sit down with the legend himself, which is Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. Has anyone read that book here? Man, it's just, reread it now if you can. He's a legend. He just texted me the other day. He's always texting me in the morning. He's doing crazy stuff. He's in Arizona right now, and he'll be coming to Dubai in a couple months. And I look to sit down to him there. But of course, he has been buying real assets for the longest time. Robert's invested in gold, silver, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and real estate. Okay, I like those. Right? He doesn't trust Wall Street. Neither do I. I used to work there, so I understand what they do. I've got to sit down with a guy like Jim Rickards, who wrote a book called Currency Wars. And this guy does war games with the CIA when it comes to financial war. This guy really, really knows what's going on. He's pretty smart. And, he has taught me a lot about markets. And that's Jim Rickards. Then, of course, there is Dan Pena, the $1 trillion man. How many people know Dan? Dan was just on the show as well recently. He's extra grumpy at 80. But he's still incredible. And Dan taught me again how to go big. Here I am actually accepting the award to go on his Hall of Fame. I'm now up there with all of his billionaires and other successful people. So yeah, again, I've got to sit down with some of the best. And I watched one of his live episodes recently when he was in the castle, and he's like, "Brian's going to Dubai. He's investing in property. He knows what to do." So I was like, "Okay, Dan. I guess he currently approves of what I'm doing." Folks, why Dubai? Well, first of all, it's the number one destination for global wealth migration. And I've got a chart on the next slide that'll blow your mind. All right. It's where all the wealthy people are coming. If you're in the UK, everyone knows this. How many people are in the UK right now? Kate, you're there, right? Anybody else? We know, Mark, that everyone's leaving, right? Everyone's leaving here. Because in the UK, they're jacking up the taxes. People are getting stabbed in the streets. It's not that bad, right, Kate? But it's just grinding down. And people are like, why am I paying you for a future that looks worse than the current day? And they come to a place like Dubai where the future looks incredibly bright. But here, there is a severe shortage of what we call these turnkey luxury supply. What does turnkey mean? Turnkey means I show up, I go in, and I have an Instagrammable home right away, right? I don't have to call some dude to redo the garage or to redo the kitchen. Now, let me tell you why this is important. I have tried to sell my family to move to Dubai, and I'm still working on it, right? My boys are still in London right now. They went back to school there. And let me tell you that your family or your wife or your husband does not want to hear if you want to move them here. They don't want to hear, we're going to move in and in 12 months, our place is going to be ready, right? They don't want to hear that. And these people will pay millions or tens of millions of dollars more to have something that is ready to move in, AKA turnkey. Does that concept make sense to everybody here? Because this is how we're going to make a lot of money. They want it done. And let's be honest, I'm joking about Instagrammable, but these days people want an Instagrammable property. And it's probably something they're going to show off to their friends. We just moved to Dubai. We're on the double lot on the Palm. We're on Emirates Hills. We're all these places. Let me show you. And that's exactly what we're providing. And of course, this market is built for high performance returns. Why? Number one, there's zero personal tax. Let me repeat that. Zero personal tax. I know that's hard for people to understand, in the UK or people like Jens in Europe. It's like, what are you talking about? Zero personal tax. It's inconceivable when in many countries it's 30, 40, 50% plus. No capital gains tax. So once you buy that luxury property, refurb, you can sell it again for a massive profit and pay no tax. This place has rapid economic growth and it's got cash-rich international buyers. Perfect for what we're doing. Here's that chart that I alluded to. You can see the global millionaire migration last year. And you can see the top country, and again, this is not a large country, had the most number of millionaires emigrate here, 9.8 thousand millionaires. And of course, there's probably a few billionaires in there, right? And who's there all the way down at the bottom of the list? The United Kingdom lost 16,500 millionaires last year. All right, this pretty much says the whole story right there. I mean, it pretty much says it all. Everyone is moving to a tax-friendly environment that is clean and safe. That's really what people want, right? And that's exactly what we're providing them here. And that's why this is the opportunity. It's happening now. And I think we've got a nice sweet spot of 3 to 5 years where we can make a lot of money, especially if we compound our results. If we can knock out a 50% or a 70 or a 90% and compound that for a few years on end, you can start seeing 3x, 4x, 5x returns on capital, which in real estate is just unheard of. And that's exactly the play that we're really looking for here. And again, we know that that's not going to be doable on every single deal to have these high returns, but that's what we're shooting for. And those are the ton of deals that I'm looking for here. So again, the core message here is Dubai combines tax freedom, security, infrastructure, and lifestyle, making it the clear winner in the race for capital and talent. I know some people leaving the UK, they're going to Italy. They got a bit of a tax break. Maybe their missus doesn't like Dubai. Maybe they don't like the dot. I get it. There's a few other places. Some people go to Thailand, but Thailand's great. It's just not safe. And look, it's got its other issues. So it just depends. But the UAE is just going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. What's a luxury transformation? This is important because this is the specific type of market we're going afterward. I'm not going after studio apartment, off-plan builds that are going to be ready in 4 years. I'm not going after one bedrooms in Business Bay. I don't find that interesting, and I don't think the margins are there. So what's a luxury transformation? Well, it's a targeted upgrade of a premium property. Let's take it, for example, the Palm. I'm overlooking the Palm right now. It's gorgeous, right? The skydivers come down during the day. You can see the big billion-dollar Ferris wheel. We call that Ferris wheel in America, like an eye in London. You get to see the Royal Atlantis Hotel, I think the most beautiful hotel in the world at the very end. You can see it all, right? But a lot of those properties are old. Now, by our standards, if you walk into a 15-year-old luxury villa, you could probably still sleep on the floor and, get through the night, right? But for most people, when they look at that, it looks a little old and tired. No problem. That's what we go for. We scoop it up. We invest in it with the best kitchens, the best marbles, the best new pool, the best upgrades, pretty much non-structural things, right? And we give it basically a makeover. The beauty is this can take between 9 and 14 months. So it doesn't take very long. And then you sell it for a significant profit. Now, how are we able to do that? Well, a lot of it comes down to labor. Labor is extremely cheap here. And on every building site here, they're working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? Time is literally money in Dubai. And there's someone out there who, for them, working a night shift here is an amazing opportunity, something you're not going to get in Sri Lanka for those rates, and they love to do it. So there's the labor force, there's the demand, and that's what we're doing. It's literally designed to match what global buyers want, right? And we've got a strategy built to unlock significant value fast. Again, quick turnaround times and high performance returns. And I'll show you a case study very shortly of something that was done very recently, and we're working with the same people. Folks, we're talking about 40 to 90% returns. I'm going to share with you a quick video because sometimes I do an okay job of explaining this, and sometimes it's not always the best. But this is about a 60-second video, and it should show you a little bit more about what the possibilities are. And again, let me just show you this. Yes. Okay. This is what we're up to.
Dubai real estate is exploding, and the biggest money is being made where almost nobody is looking, in premium luxury transformation projects that have historically delivered 40 to 90% annual returns. That is incredible. For years, these opportunities were locked inside private networks. You never saw them. You never had access until now. I've spent 15 years on Wall Street and 5 years studying Dubai up close. And today, for the first time ever, you can invest directly alongside my team. We have just received a brand new project with real potential for outsized returns. And early allocations always fill fast. Click the link and apply now. Your opportunity starts today.
All right, boom. That's a little bit more of a visual of what we're doing. I think you can kind of see what some of those places look like. And again, we're seeing 49% returns. Now, again, I worked for 15 years on Wall Street, and I've really never seen anything like it where you actually own the principal of a property, that you just paid market price for. So it's not like, look, I love the crypto market, but in the crypto market, you're investing in something with a very high risk and a high return. This is something that is an actual asset. And I'll explain to you how we're using SPVs. So we're actually going to own the asset ourselves. Folks, this is a case study. Literally happened right behind me on the Palm. You can actually see my building up there on the top horizon there. And it happened by them buying a property and then 12 months later, them selling it. They found the property for $7.1 million US. They spent $6.3 million renovating and doing the permits. The total investment cost was $13.4 million. They sold it for $25.9 million. and they got a massive return of 93.8% in 12 months. Now, look, this is probably one of the better case studies, of course. It's a pretty incredible return, but you can kind of see the logic of what's happening here. We buy something that already has an amazing location, that already was a luxury property, but it's not the best it could be. You spend the next 9, 10 months making it excellent. The best kitchens, the best marble, the best pool, the best furniture, the best of everything. And then you sell it to someone who wants to walk right in and basically have the best place on the block. And there's a lot of people here that want the best house on the block. There is. And I know a crypto billionaire, and he drives around in his Bugatti. And he has a saying. He said, Brian, in Dubai, there's always somebody with a bigger one. That's what he tells me. Okay. And this guy lives large. And he's like, look, that's the thing about this place. This place humbles even the billionaires or decabillionaires because it's a place where the wealthy play. And they want things like this. This is standard operating procedure here. And this is how we're going to make these incredible returns. Folks, here's some stats that happened recently. Dubai just hit a new record with Middle East's most expensive penthouse. It was sold for 150 million US dollars. It was actually the Bugatti building, which isn't built yet. And this is the thing. Bugatti is a luxury car. And now they're branding buildings after luxury brands, right? This is standard operating procedure in Dubai. I know it's weird. They don't do this in London, do they, Kate? Maybe they will, right? But I went to the Armani Hotel the other day. It's a hotel by Armani. It's actually in the Burj Khalifa. I was there a couple days ago. They are setting up brand name buildings. Kate, there's even a Chelsea Football Club building going up here where you can buy an apartment in the Chelsea Football Club building, and there's a whole group of people that want to do that. So that just sold recently. Of course, this article just came out yesterday. UAE luxury property is set for a sustained boom. And you can see that projections indicate an expansion from 45 billion in 2025 to 71 billion by 2030. And again, massive momentum in the past 2 years, high-end property sales in Dubai and some down the road in Abu Dhabi, surpassing now pre-pandemic levels, high transaction volumes, record prices, continued demand from international high net worth buyers. Pretty much says it all right there. Of course, this headline talking about how Dubai luxury property set to rise next year as the $10 million home sales surge by 54% in Q3. And of course, we're now seeing that Dubai outshines London, Miami, and Phuket. That's in Thailand that I was talking about. And now seeing these things happen again, you can see 140 of these branded residence projects set for delivery by 2031. Those are the ones like the Bugattis and the Armanis and the Bulgaris and these things that are going up, as well as other luxury pieces as well. And of course, why? Well, from residency visas to just returns, that's why everybody is coming here. It's the place to come. And again, I was given a golden visa by Dr. Marwan here just for who I was, because I was Brian Rose of London Real. What an amazing place that just rewards talent just to show up in places like this. The whole government is aligned to make this a prosperous place. Whereas I would argue that every government in Europe and the UK is there that is on the opposite playing field of anybody who wants to be wealthy or successful. They have to toe the line of you're bad and we're going to tax you. Otherwise they can't get votes. It's the opposite here. They want to create prosperity. And of course, we saw Dubai real estate sales pass 17.5 billion in November. And of course, it saw that transactions jumped 31% in November. Again, strong demand across apartments and villas, no surprise there. Latest deals that we're working on. And like I said, we're seeing a lot of deals being on the ground, makes a huge difference. I'm here until May and maybe longer, actually. And I'm here for one purpose, really, to try to be there to where I can get access and see and touch and feel the properties that are going to make us these returns. We've got something we're working on right now, and our members are actually in the KYC process today via our SPV platform, getting ready to invest in this one right here. Again, this is an inland venue. Not everybody wants to be on the coast. It's more family oriented, green. There's actually a lot of greenery here, opposite of what you might have heard. By the way, can I see a straw poll? How many people here have been to Dubai? Can I see a raise of hands? Jens has, Kate has. Okay, Alan, Bashar. Okay, cool. You know what? That's nice to see. I've had a few of these calls where I get like 1 out of 10. And I still think a lot of people haven't been here. And so look, places like this exist. We got the perfect timing on here. It's a high demand location. It's filling quickly. We've got probably 1 or 2 spaces left on this. But I've got another deal very similar to this we're trying to land right after. But our group call is on the 15th next week. And if you are planning on joining us, be on that call because we can get you in on this deal. Folks, the returns are really incredible. And again, I've looked at a lot of things like this. And again, I think there is a place in portfolio for, low risk bonds, for cash on hand, for crypto, for sure, for high risk, high reward, and for property that has a lower risk, but still a high reward. But I've never seen anything like this that's still secured with an actual asset and a home. So how do we get access to these deals? That's what everyone's asking. And the truth is they're not doing it because of my pretty smile and my fancy suits. All right. They're doing it because they want access to our media platform. They see London Real as a way to get higher resale prices on those homes. They see London Real as a way to get them funding for these deals they would never see anywhere else. And so we are bringing something to the table, and I'm using our media platform to get you access to deals that not only would you never get access, you wouldn't even know these were happening. Let's be honest. You probably never even heard of this concept before, and you would never hear about this for 5 more years. But we can get you in, and the only reason we get access is because of our platform. If it wasn't for London Real, I couldn't do this. But because of London Real, we can get you access. It's the same thing we've been doing in crypto for the last 4 years. And I believe that success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. We're 15 years now in the business with our platform. More people stop me on the streets in Dubai than they do in London, right? I don't know if that says something about London and Dubai or what it is, but people know who we are over here. Also, our audience is in Dubai. Let's be honest. We talk to people who want to transform their lives by learning new things and making difficult changes and going into the fear and pulling the trigger. That's a London Realer. And so, of course, they're in Dubai, right? And so these people have been watching our videos, not just since 2020 and lockdown, but they've been watching us since Wim Hof and since the early days as well. Look, a lot of you probably feel like Drake on top. You tried to invest in property on your own, and you just didn't get anywhere. Maybe you tried to buy that second home. Maybe you tried to buy an investment property, and again, you found yourself cleaning toilets on weekends, or you saw yourself getting a 4% annual return, which is the same as the inflation rate of your local currency if you're in America or the UK, right? And you just thought, you know what? I don't have the bandwidth for this. I can't do it. I totally get it. That's why we're doing this. When you come into this, you don't have to operate it. You don't have to worry anything about it. This is all done through an SPV where you have direct ownership, but you don't have any of the hassle, any of the legal liability either. And I'll share more about that soon. And of course, we decided to create what I call the Luxury Property Investment Circle. All right. What it is for a minimum of $10,000 investment, you can jump into an SPV, and we're looking to make 40 to 90% returns, right? That's what I'm shooting for every single deal. Look, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get there, but that's what we're shooting for every single deal. Sometimes we'll go high, sometimes we'll go lower, but that's what we're shooting for. And we're looking to compound this over years. That's how we start getting these really interesting returns. And if you go to LondonReal.tv/Dubai, you can apply for this program. It's simple. It's your first and last name, email, a rough idea of what you want to invest per deal, and 10 or 20 words on why you want to join the circle. We will be investigating you before we give you access. And that just means we can find out how long you've been a London Realer. We can see how many episodes you watched. We can see if you've ever attended some of our courses before, and we can find out if you really fit the vibe for what we're looking for. I'm too old to deal with nonsense at this point. I just want people that believe in what we do and want to make a lot of money. That's it. That's what we're looking for. And we'll get back to you hopefully within 48 hours with an answer. And that comes right to your email. Look, folks, a lot of you know I ran to be mayor of London a couple of years ago. I actually ran twice. My last run, I ran on a pro freedom of speech platform, a pro crypto platform. And I really wanted to change the city. But the truth is that I just don't think there's much I can do for London right now. There just isn't. But I can do something incredible in this city. And so if you're sick and tired of getting terrible returns, if you're sick and tired of watching inflation beat the returns on your money, then it's time to do something different. And that's why I've decided to come here. And I always say, vote with your feet and vote with your pocketbook. And that's what you can do. And so I've set up our studios here. This is London Real in Dubai. This is me sitting down with Dr. Marwan. He's the one that gave me my golden visa. He's a really high-level guy here in blockchain and AI. And I've been interviewing a lot of the top people in crypto. This is Carl the Moon. This is a guy with the Bugatti, $1 billion crypto guy. And these people have also shown me what luxury is all about. And they've shown me why this place is one of the most incredible places to be. And this is Chris Crypto. He's got a villa right here on the Palm. I know a few guys like him that have some ridiculous villas on the Palm and sometimes some even more ridiculous car collections. We are currently going to invest over $3 million into 6 different luxury refurbishment deals this quarter. All right. That is our plan. We'd love for you to be a part of it. If not, we're going to do it anyways. And we'll just tell you about all the success we're having. But that's the plan. And we're going to make some outsized returns. Folks, it all is because of London Real Ventures. Let's not kid ourselves. It's the world's first media-powered investment firm. If it wasn't for this vehicle, we wouldn't get this access. This has never been done before in history, where people have taken a media company and combined it with a venture capital firm. When you put those things together, magic happens. For the past 4 years, we've invested in over 100 different crypto and AI platforms. And the only reason we've got access to this deal flow is because of the media company that we are. We've had some incredible results. Skillful AI was up 20x at launch, made us a $4 million profit. We had Shrapnel, it was up $5 million, did 20x in 20 days. We had Mochaverse up 20x on launch. And of course, our big deal was Story Protocol up 42x. One of our members, Jose, who has actually now just joined the Luxury Property Investment Circle, he put $50,000 into this deal and he's sitting on a cool $2 million profit. Right? That's the kind of thing we've managed to do in crypto. Now, look, crypto is very high risk and very high reward. Okay? They both come hand in hand. And what I'm looking for with this luxury property is a lower risk profile and a lower return, but still much higher than what you would see in the S&P 500. And of course, this is the $1 billion fund that we invested in. Dan Tapiero. We're actually putting another $1 million into his next fund. He's done a 4x, which will probably turn into 8x by the time this is done. So we have had an incredible track record of success. And of course, one of the ways we win is by co-investing with the biggest names in the business. And that's exactly what we're doing on the ground here, investing alongside the big boys and the big girls of this place. Right now, we've invested over $23 million into over 100 deals, and we're looking to really match those kind of numbers in property and real estate over the next probably 24 months. And we see this as the prime opportunity. Folks, I was recently voted the best venture capitalist of the year in the crypto world by the DGen Summit. And of course, also the Global Family Office Investment Summit gave us our Lifetime Achievement Award for our investments and our media. And of course, we got even more famous in the crypto world when I decided to jump in the ring and lace up some gloves and teach these punk kids a few lessons. I had to teach them some manners, Kate. And so we're pretty well known here in Dubai. And while it's kind of something to kind of smile at, I won't lie, this is the kind of thing that gets us deal flow. You know, when I can walk in a room and they're like, who's that? That's Brian Rose. I saw him. Then they're like, that's going to get us a deal. And I was sitting down with someone recently and he said, Brian, he said, my 19-year-old daughter knows who you are. I was like, how? He said, she followed that guy here on the left or the guy on the bottom where I'm punching his head there. You see him? He's a 19-year-old crypto guy. And he said, Brian, how does a 54-year-old guy like you get noticed by my daughter? It's because you fought this young crypto guy. He said, whatever you're doing with your branding, keep doing it. I was like, I was just looking for a fight. So, but all this stuff really adds up and helps us with the deal flow. So how can we maximize our investment returns? Well, I think it was Ray Dalio that said, diversification is the holy grail of investment. Does anybody here follow Ray Dalio? He's really a legend in the space. And you can now prove mathematically that the more you diversify into uncorrelated assets, the more money your portfolio makes over time. It's purely a fact now. Now, if you look at a typical portfolio of one of our investment club members, you'll see it's probably 20% crypto, 15% equities, 15% cash, maybe 20% with some bond holdings in there. And a lot of them typically have 30% in real estate. Now, they might own their own home. They might have a second home. They might have an investment property. What I'm saying is keep your crypto investments, keep your equity investments. All I'm saying is diversify some of your real estate into luxury property in Dubai. So look, I think both crypto and real estate are great parts of a balanced portfolio. We're going to continue investing in crypto deals, but we're also all going to complement that with real estate deals as well. Look, we think the greatest way to predict the future is just to create it. I could stay in London and complain about the Labour government and complain about the taxes and complain about the crime, or I could just do something about it and come here and give you guys opportunities to make money and invest in this incredible phenomenon. You don't even have to visit here. Although you can, we're having an investor day here on April 27th for all the members where you can come and literally we're going to go to every single one of our properties. And I'm going to take you to all the future projects as well. And you can get a feel for this place. But I want to be able to give you access without it. So stop complaining about your returns. This is the way we're actually going to do something about it. Now, look, this is Ben Bandari, and I got to sit down with him about a month and a half ago here. He is the top real estate broker in Dubai, which says a lot because there's a lot of competition here. He's also the star of $1 Million Listing UAE, which is this reality show where they have like drama and like real estate listings and real estate brokers. Has anybody seen one of those shows before? I think it's like Selling Sunset. No one here watches that kind of stuff. Okay, maybe you probably wouldn't admit it even if you did, right, Dan? I totally get it, right? But it's some of these things, but what it does is it puts lots of eyeballs on this stuff. And Ben actually sold this concept of $1 Million Listing. It took him 5 years to do it. He finally got one of the members of the royal family of Abu Dhabi to go ahead and finance it. And he's now the star. And you can see him here. Season 2 is crushing records. And again, there's a record property boom here. And you can see Ben up there in this poster. It's definitely worth watching. I wanted to play for you a short video because this is what Ben said about real estate when I asked him, why Dubai? You know, he is actually from Toronto. He moved here 20 years ago. And I said, why? Why this place? Why did you stay? You know, why does this look like something that it's something you really, really want to do? And it was something I was always really curious as to what he would say. And this is what he told me.
How did Dubai become one of the top 5 real estate markets in the world?
There's many factors. The safety and the security is next level. You won't find it anywhere in the world. The leadership had a vision to basically attract foreign investment, bring basically expats here, and to basically expand the culture, the tourism, and the city itself. And they've done a great job. I mean, I've seen it all right from the beginning, from 2002 up until today. You have to come here, you have to see it, you have to experience it to believe it.
And we're seeing a lot of billionaires and a lot of other high net worth people bring their families here, invest in properties.
Everybody's looking to come here. Everyone's looking to move here. The money pours in because of the safety, because of the security, because of the stability.
Safety, security, stability. I think you kept saying that over and over and over again. And this is the place to be. Right now it's hot. I think a lot of the people on this call right now, you've just heard about it. You know, you keep hearing about it. Yeah, there's something going on there. I'd love to be involved, even if I'm not able to get there myself. Or maybe this is a better way than trying to do it yourself. Takeaways from Ben: Dubai has safety and security. Leadership attracts investment. The royal family here has a 100-year plan, right? They don't play games. They run this place like a business. It's hard to imagine. They stick to deadlines, right? And they are constantly improving. If you do any interaction with the government, they will send you a form afterwards saying, how did we do? How can we do better? Everything is digitized here. Everything. Like, not even a joke. It's actually digitized. And they're just going to take this thing all the way. They've already taken it very, very far. Again, zero personal taxes. It's the new playground for the wealthy and everyone else, which is why everyone keeps coming here. So how do we create outsized returns in real estate? It's about deal flow, folks. And that's why I'm here. My job is to go out and find us the deals that have the big returns, right? Not the 20%, not the 25%, not the 30%. I'm looking for the 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90% deals, right? And again, I'm out there pushing and using our reputation to try to negotiate access to those deals. And that's what I've been doing here for the past few years, just out here meeting people, whether it's crypto bros or members of government or venture capitalists or influencers. I've been here just meeting people, putting in the time and hanging out, interviewing people on stage, talking to people like CZ here in the middle, who, probably worth about $100 billion, and people that are really involved in this market. I've been learning it from the ground. I've been watching where they live, and I've now become someone that more and more people are actually associating with Dubai. If you want to win here, you got to invest with the best folks. And what it means is incredible opportunities with incredible returns. Now, this deal actually came and went, but we were actually only forecasting the low end prediction of that deal. So we're still trying to be conservative here with some of these estimates. And then, if it comes out above budget or under budget and we sell it for more than we thought, then great. You get a nice surprise with an extra 10 or 20% return. That's what we're looking here to do. But these deals go fast. And unless you're ready and KYC with us, you're going to miss them. And so I just want to get everybody teed up and ready to go. We can miss a deal within a few days now. And so I'm just trying to get everybody primed and ready to go. And of course, you get access to our investor portal once you log in and you can see the deals. So, right now we've got 3 deals we're looking at right now. I should have another 3 probably in the next 10 days. And our investor portal has all the details, has all the legal documents, and we're literally KYCing our entire class right now. KYC stands for Know Your Customer, and it's just you put in your passport and your information, and it allows us to put you in the SPV. And I'll get to that very shortly. Of course, you have to understand the financial tools. What does that mean? Well, in this case, it's an SPV. How many people know what an SPV is? Just raise your hands. Yeah. All right, everybody can hear me here right now. Okay, good. An SPV, how many people know what an SPV is again? Just hands up again. Okay, Jen's Pios. Okay, an SPV is a special purpose vehicle. What is it? Well, it's a legal entity that's bespoke. It's created only for one purpose, and the purpose is for a deal. In our case, it holds a property in its own standalone legal entity. So owners like you directly own the assets. That's important, while isolating you from all the risks of your personal wealth, right? That can't go back in there. They can't come after you. It's a ring-fence structure, and it provides stronger legal protection, cleaner tax treatment, and easier financing and partnerships. Our SPVs are regulated by AGDM, which is the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, very high level, and it's all under British common law, okay? This is so important, and it means that we've just got ironclad agreements into us owning the assets and then getting the returns. Look, it's more of a pain, costs a little bit extra, but it's worth doing, and that's the only way we're going to do it here. So how do you create generational wealth? It's simple, folks. You got to pull the trigger, right? There's going to be people that pull the trigger and people that watch on the sidelines. Timing matters, because if you wait, you're going to miss this. The SPVs can't expand once they're filled. We're buying a specific property with a specific amount of renovations. If you call me up later and say, Brian, get me in for 50K, I could do that on a crypto deal, because a CEO always needs another 50K to build their company. In this case, the guy's going to say, Brian, I'm already at budget. What am I going to do? Put 50K and put a second jacuzzi in? That doesn't make any sense. Leave me alone. So I can't expand these once they're filled. Early investors get priorities, right? If you're in here and you're in here early, you're going to get the first look. Deals close fast. And again, once allocations are gone, they are gone. And look, this is for serious investors only who want access and who see this as a way of multiplying their wealth over the next few years, right? This is not theoretical. This is about people that really want this to happen. This is for people who want real assets, not speculation. You want an audited outcome. You want transparency, and you want access to real opportunities. That's what really this is for. And again, the best way to do that is to apply now. All right. We called it Luxury Property Circle because it's a small group of people that are going to take part here. They're all London realers. Okay. Some people that I've worked with before in some of my other academies and courses, and some people are brand new. It's a private membership. It's a pathway to premium opportunities. You're going to get access to all the deal flow, and it's a chance to build real wealth. And you can start with as little as $10,000 investments per deal. Although most of our members are going to invest much more than that. The best way to is apply right now. LondonReal.tv/Dubai. It'll take you literally 30 seconds. I read them all personally. My team does a whole checkup on you to find out if you're legit. And then if we like you, we'll accept you. You have 48 hours to join if you do. If not, just keep it moving. We got a lot of other people that want to join us. And I think this is the most powerful money-making opportunity I've ever seen. For a risk-reward basis, it's incredible. Now, look, if you want higher risk, I love crypto. I love these deals. But if you want something with a lower risk profile that's based in real estate, that means you actually own an asset, a piece of land and a home, and everything that's being done to that, that has a whole nother level of security in it, right? And that's why it has a different risk profile and a different reward. And that's exactly what we're doing here. Of course, this is a link for that video. Go to LondonReal.tv/replay, and it's going to show you how to invest in luxury real estate in 3 easy steps. And that's it, folks. I'd love to answer some questions. Is that helpful? Everybody here? Kate, Dan, you liking that? Svante? Okay, cool. Amazing. Look, folks, again, I think you all can ask me questions in the chat. So shoot me any questions. I think maybe some of you are talking to Mark. I think you all can ask me questions in the main chat. I think so. So shoot me something there as well. What we're looking to do here is just move fast. And like I said, we're already KYCing people. A lot of you have spoken to Mark on the phone, I think. And again, the process is really simple. We'll send you the acceptance. You have to join, and then I can literally get you KYC'd immediately. The 15th of next week is a big date because that's our monthly call with all the investors where I'm going to be talking about all the specific details. And I'm going to get also firm allocations from each person on the deal. So we'll know how much is left for anybody else. Those calls are going to be monthly. But of course, we're sourcing deals all the time and we're in communication once every few days with all the members there. And that's really what we're doing, folks. It's fairly simple, and but it's also something I think that requires kind of immediate attention. And look, let's just take a step back. The S&P 500 that was on a tear last year with Trump as president was up 15%, 1-5. All right. If you look at most bond yields compared to inflation, they were probably losing you money, right? If you hold cash, you're losing money. I think everybody knows that by now, right? Because governments print money. And so if you want to beat that, if you want to look for something that's special, we think we have something here. Now, of course, every deal has risk, of course, otherwise there wouldn't be that return. But I'm here on the ground because I think this is an incredible way for London Realers to make money. And it's a place I believe in. It's a place I've gone all in on. Even before this, we were broadcasting out of here for the last 2 years. I've been coming here annually for years and more often. And it's a place I believe in 100%. And that's why we're going all in on this. Look, at some point, I hope we're going to amass enough money where maybe we'll just invest on our own, folks. Maybe we'll close out the property circle and just do it ourselves. And I have no problem with that as well. But right now, I'd rather work with some really, really great people and partners. We've found some great people in the investment club that I love working with and I'll be working with for the rest of my life. And we'd like to do the same here. And maybe this isn't for you. And if it isn't, no problem. All right. There's plenty of things you can do out there. We're looking for people that see this and they say, yes, this makes no sense. I mean, this makes all the sense. As Dan Pena once said to me, a deal is either hot or it's not, right? You don't have to spreadsheet it to death, right? Kate, you know that saying. He also says, he says a guy or a girl is either hot or they're not. You don't have to spreadsheet it. And it's true. It's like you see this, you get the top line. You're like, okay, this is Brian Rose, London Real. He's been around for 15 years. He's been doing this. He's worked on Wall Street. He's clearly here. He's clearly going all in on this. Okay, are you in or are you out? If you have to think too long about it, it's probably not for you, right? But if you're like, okay, this sounds right. I know you. I know what you do. I know what you can do. That's what we're looking for. And we're ready to rock and roll literally as we speak. So that's the deal. Mark, I just wondered if you had any thoughts, and maybe you could also put your information in there. But Mark he's our guy. He is the guy that's running point for us as a touch point to all of you who are looking to join. And so if you see Mark,